Howdy, my name is Tabitha Foreman, and for the ID model presentation, I chose to research the backward design model. As Graf noted in 2011, the backward design is a framework that begins with the end goal or outcome. Then, curriculum is built for assessment and provides activities to reinforce the skills and knowledge and shows evidence of learning. The backward design model is also referred to as backward planning or backward mapping. In the 1990s, Grant Wiggins and Jay McTighe popularized the backward design framework, which provided structure to help teachers shift from a content knowledge mindset to a pedagogical content knowledge mindset. Gibson noted in 2016 that this model suggests that students gain transferable skills, practice in method, and obtain diverse perceptions through a sequence of cohesive lessons which advance students to achieve the end goal. Gibson also acknowledges that this is a practical framework for teachers to teach to the test. There are a few differences to note between the backward design model and the five-phase model of instruction, which is the main focus in our textbook. From an instructor perspective, the difference that stuck out to me the most is the amount of time spent planning versus the time spent teaching. The backward design is straightforward and teachers spend less time planning and more time teaching, whereas the five-phase model of instruction is a series of detailed steps that lead to a more complete version of the lesson, which means more time will be spent planning and developing curriculum than teaching. The second difference that stood out to me is the backward design framework begins with identifying the outcome, building curriculum from assessment, and ending with activities to prove the learning. The five-phase model of instruction begins with a vague vision that becomes a concrete lesson. It starts with learning objectives and a learner analysis to identify learner needs, then the curriculum is built from the learning objectives. In this model, the curriculum builds on the ideas generated in previous lessons. Lastly, another difference is because the backward design model is very straightforward, there will be less interruptions in the learning process. But in the five-phase model of instruction, designers will often keep spiraling back to other phases to add more details or make changes, which could potentially allow the teacher to lose focus on the intended outcome. Moving on to the similarities between the backward design model and the five-phase model of instruction. One way these two models are similar is that reflection is necessary to continually make adjustments to the curriculum to ensure it is aligned with the outcomes. The second way these models are similar is in how important it is to know your audience to ensure they have the background knowledge necessary to accomplish the end goal. The third similarity is the way curriculum is built in a sequential format that will give the student the most chance of learning the skills for transfer. Another similarity is that outcomes, assessments, and activities are focus areas for both models, even though the five-phase model of instruction is more thorough. The final similarity that I chose to include is the need to evaluate both the curriculum and oneself at the end of each lesson to check for efficiency and accuracy. 3 assumptions of the backward design model are as follows. As Graf stated in 2011, the backward design model helps teachers navigate pre-packaged programs and district guidelines to ensure students gain transferable skills and show evidence that they learned the skills through intentional planning. Graf also said in 2011, the backward design model empowers teachers and instructors to focus on straightforward curriculum instead of programmatic structure. Gibson then in 2016 stated the backward design model helps teachers build confidence in planning and delivering a curriculum that allows students to achieve the end goal. In closing, Wiggins and McTighe think the backward design model is better than other models because, as Graf stated in 2016, Wiggins and McTighe suggest the straightforward backward design model prevents teachers from overemphasizing coverage, which often leads to disconnected activities that may or may not achieve the intended outcome. Other reasons the backward design model is better is because teachers and students have a hand in building the curriculum and achieving the end goal. This model focuses on teaching and learning to gain transfer. Additionally, preparation time is minimal and the time spent on preparing is intentional and outcome focused.